Howdy everyone, Pocho here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're jumping into a hero spotlight. We are covering Maria, the melee damager for the Crimson Order. With her and the other character, there are now 4 Crimson Order heroes within the game, so we'll be able to get a bit of a test play with them, see how they perform. Even though they are not at their strongest, we can chuck an Archon into the team and hopefully give them a bit of a boost. But as usual, we'll go over stats, abilities, animations, and like I said, have a bit of a play around in the arena. So let's get into it. Covering the stats, hit points come in at completely maxed out at 22 million, speed 239, armor 586k, magic damage resistance 579k, basic magic damage 2.4 million, critical hit chance 49, which is pretty hefty, and critical damage is 4.2 million. Going into the more in-depth stats, as usual, feel free to stop and have a look at anything you want or use the information how you see fit. So let's jump into the arena and test out Maria. Moving into the arena, we have Maria's basic ability, War Flail. Performs a melee physical attack on one target. Damage is increased by 35% of the target's missing HP. Awakening this ability, damage is increased by 50%. Higher damage increased percent of missing HP. Maria has a 20% chance per allied Archon and Crimson Order member to attack the same target again. So we'll go ahead and look at the animation of the ability. Who do we want to attack? Let's go ahead and attack the Skara. Got it on the lowest setting. She'll swing and just smash. Decent damage. That was 4.9 million. Oh, and she goes ahead and gets the second attack as well. Goes on to the Sekman. That is completely maxed out though. So yeah, I mean, for a basic, that's, you know, what's that? 1/3 of the HP? Pretty solid damage, but overall, I don't think the Awakening is 100% necessary. It's not adding anything major to the ability, but the damage output is pretty solid. Her second ability is Heavenly Punishment. Remove all debuffs and buffs from the target. If Benedict is in the squad, she also removes all debuffs from herself. Performs a melee physical attack on one target. Deals extra damage equal to 40% of her basic attack for every effect removed. Awakening this ability, damage is increased by 20%. Deals more extra damage for every effect removed. If this attack kills the target, Maria gains 50% initiative. Okay, beautiful. Let's have a look at the animation of the skill. So we do have one. Let's go to the Siri, because we should be able to get rid of that buff. She'll dash across or dodge, but still gets rid of the buff. So pretty solid. Overall utility of this is really good. There's a few characters coming into the game now where their attacks both remove buffs and debuffs. What's the other one? Raymond is another character that does it, and they gain benefits from that. I think it definitely helps with damage output, because there are so many characters in the game that just pile on buffs now, and debuffs can be absolutely absurd as well. I'm not sure what the debuff situation is with the Crimson Order, how potent it is. I don't think it's potent from what I've seen so far, but still removing everything just to increase damage is pretty solid. It's a clean slate for the character you're attacking. Maria's third ability is Extermination. Performs a melee physical attack on all enemies. Attack damage for every target is increased by 30% of the target's current HP. The ability's critical damage increased by 10% for every allied Archon or Crimson Order member. Awakening this character, damage increased by 20%. Enemies killed by this ability cannot be revived. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. Non-revival is always valuable. We'll go ahead and look at the animation of the ability. So we just attack anyone we want. Yeah, doesn't matter, it's an AoE, so she'll dash across, smash. Pretty cool. What is that damage? Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot of damage. Attack damage for every target is increased by 30% for the target's current HP. Okay, so the more HP they have, the more damage the ability is going to do. Very interesting. I think the most valuable part of this is the Awakening, with the enemies being killed by it cannot be revived. That's the niche, is that you need to kill the enemy with it for them to be non-revivable. I think still nothing trumps Halus and the ability to just prevent resurrection altogether. It's very hard to kill characters, especially with the way battles perform now. It's very hard to just single target characters. There's always so much AoE, so many things going on, characters protecting other characters. It's very, very, yeah, you need to be in a very specific situation, or you just luck. The ability does a lot of damage, so it's probably a high chance that you're going to be able to get a kill with it. But if you consider other characters again, like reversing the Guardians of Order, the Goos, Impus, for example, when he executes a character with his ability, I think the conditions are a bit easier to meet in that situation. The non-res kicks in. So again, tomato, potato, whatever, this ability is AoE. So if you knock out a few characters at once, then there's obviously huge advantage to that. Finally, we arrive at her passive, and she seemed like a pretty simple character up to this point. Now we have the wall of text. Buckle in, let's get through it. Mari is passive Executor. When the HP of an allied Archon or Crimson Order member drops below 50%, Mari's ability cooldown is reduced by 2 turns, only triggers once every 2 turns. She has inbuilt ability cooldown reduction. That's pretty good. Enemy mages receive 100% less bonus initiative. So only the mages are going to be restricted to gaining initiative. When Mari's attack reduces an enemy's HP by 20% or more of the maximum, she receives 1 level of Holy Fury. If she kills the enemy with this attack, she receives 2 levels of Fury. Fury stacks are removed when an enemy is revived. So that kind of works in with her third ability. If she can prevent resurrection, she's going to keep her Fury stacks. But if they do resurrect, then she loses them. Okay, so what does Fury do? At level 1 of Fury, Maria ignores shields when attacking. Okay, so as you can see, we did a huge amount of damage to the Goos. We completely ignored shields there. Always great. So at level 2 of Fury, Maria receives 3 stacks of an effect, increasing the damage of her next attack, up to a maximum of 10 for every allied Archon or Crimson Order member who receives healing or shield. Damage is increased by 15% per stack. These stacks are used up when she attacks. So she got inbuilt mega damage stack increase. At level 3, Max of Fury, maximum and current cooldowns of Mari's abilities are reduced by 2 turns. So she gets, again, ability cooldown at level 3. Awakening this, Mari starts the battle with level 1 of Holy Fury. So she's going to instantly start ignoring shields. And it's going to last a while because, I mean, no enemies being resurrected right off the bat. So you're going to be able to ignore shields. At level 2 of Fury, Mario receives more stacks and a higher % of damage increase. So what we read in that text there is the awakened version. So that is with the increase added to it already. So overall, she reminds me a little bit of Tyros, kind of. Oddly enough, she looks like Jean. She acts like Tyros. She is just she's built to be a damage dealer. Damage dealer with the added resurrection, protection, or restriction to the enemy. So, very interesting, very interesting. It's good to just see characters who are built for one thing, and hers is damage. So, we'll jump into a battle against the Goos. In the last video, we versed the Chaos, and we saw how that ended. So, we'll verse the Goos this time and see how the battle goes. Jumping into battle, and as you can see, a lot of things happen right off the bat we've got no control over. So both teams have shields now. Out comes the AoE from Scar. Doesn't do too much damage. We do have Sakrif awakened as well. So actually, her awakenings actually seem almost worth it if we're using her on the Crimson Order faction. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's see what we're going to do here. Now, the Goos are an annoying faction. So we're going to go ahead and just use our abilities in order. We are not going to have Mari's big damage ability. Yes, it starts off on cooldown. So we can get rid of the buffs here. Performs, it's almost, I don't know if it's worth. I think maybe we save it for something else. Let's go ahead and attack Siri. Okay, we will boost this up to a 4x speed. Otherwise, we're going to be here for years. Years. Alright. So, alright, so that's the disadvantage, it seems, of the Crimson Order, is a lot of their abilities are on cooldown to begin with. It doesn't take a lot of damage there, that's good. What's this? Is this anti... can't be resurrected. Okay. Did we kill her, or did we just go for the basic again? Dodge, a dodge. Oh, they are taking damage. I'm pretty sure that's from Teresa. Pretty sure Teresa's just slowly chipping away at their HP, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, we almost didn't really see much of Mario. Okay, here we go. Big ability. Let's slow it down. Alright, we've got rid of one jar. Let's go for the Siri again. They're really struggling trying to take out this. They haven't even touched the guard. I keep going to call them guards. The Crimson Order yet. Alright. We're pretty good here. Pretty good. I really can't see them coming back in any way. The jars are on the field and we take them out. Beautiful. Very interesting faction. Very interesting. It wasn't a good showcase, really, for her damage against that team. Because there wasn't... Yeah, as I said, there's not really a lot of debuffs coming out from the Crimson Order. So it's very interesting. They do have some, but not a lot to really spice things up. I feel like this faction's going to be good against... Potentially, we still need to see the 5th character, but I feel like there's going to be some potential against the Chaos Spawn, simply because of the amount of buffs and debuffs coming out, and potentially the Assassins. Now, the Assassins, we don't know what Blade is going to do yet, but the Assassins do have this ability of applying debuffs to themselves. So they could be potentially hurting themselves if they go up against the Crimson Order, because Mario can come through and just do a lot more damage with those debuffs they apply to themselves. So yeah, very interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Blade actually does and how he benefits the Assassins, but that is just something to think about. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. We'll answer it to the best of my ability, and we're around the world. Until next time, please take care of yourself.